have other people there as collaborators. Saying it's rare that I will do an event that's just mine. And if I do, they didn't start off that way. Because my voice is suddenly my voice. Even without those who come on stage, I'm saying I have co-hosts for all my shows, pretty much. So I'm doing that. So within the author speakers conference on 26. Again, I could have the ego Mike mentioned earlier and say, right, I know it all. They love me so much. They come and listen to me waffle on, right? No. They're better coming to listen to 6 authors who are going to speak. And I'm going to speak. I'm the host, right? So there's other people who have deeper messages, that deserve an ear, that deserve to be heard, right? And I'd rather put those people ahead of me, than me thinking I'm the greatest and just everyone it's all about me. It's not about me. It's about the people who you elevate. Let me tell you, the people you elevate will elevate you in return. That's true collaboration, right? Let's hear from Tobiloba. How are you doing, Mr. Toby? Tobiloba, are you there? He's there. He's not looking at me.
Yeah, he's there.
Come on, share with us. You're mute. You're muted. I didn't mute you. I'm sure Mr. Z didn't mute you.
How's the internet connection in Kenya?
Yes, I think it's internet connection.
Nigeria.
Now.
Yeah,
yes,
I can hear you.
Go ahead.
Welcome.
Okay, I've actually been listening to the amazing things you are sharing, collaborative growth. Nobody actually grow in isolation. A plant needs water to grow, and it needs sunlight to grow, to germinate. All of us, we are a product of collaboration. Our coaches collaborated with us, our mentors collaborated with us, even our parents collaborated to be able to bring us alive. So we must understand that collaboration cannot be taken out of whatever thing we need to achieve, this especially in this time and age. You necessarily don't have to buy everything. You necessarily don't have to hire for every services. You necessarily don't have to pay for everything, even as much as you can bring people. Or Zion, who is about positivity, Mr. Henry, who is about marketing, Tobiloba, who does copywriting, other people who do graphic design, people who do social media manager. We can come together and collaborate and bring something that is exponential out. If we do it with joy, we believe that if we put our expertise together and look for a problem and provide solution to it, because you don't provide solution and begin to look for the problem. Let's look out for a problem. Let's look at things that each and every one of us have. Let's look at what Zion carry. Let's look at what Annie carries. Let's look at what Zara carries. Let's look at what Mike have to offer. Let's look at what Jamie Edwards have to offer. If we look into that, we can actually make our world a better place. We can make our society a better place. And at the same time, we don't have to be waiting until we have money to buy everything before we actually achieve some certain things that we need to achieve ourselves. So collaboration is one of the things that actually bring incredible growth to our society. If a particular country collaborates with another country, it gives them flexibility. It makes it more easier to enter such a country. It makes it more beautiful to have a beautiful relationship together. So you cannot take collaboration out of this thing that we're talking about. You cannot take it out. As long as growth is involved, collaboration has to be mentioned. As long as growth is in place, collaborations can never be taken out. And how do we collaborate? by seeing ourselves as somebody who has something to offer. Don't discard what A has, because I believe that there are things you do with ease that other people do with please. There are things you do with ease that other people do with please. And the truth of the matter is that people also need it. The things that you do with ease, those people that are unable to do it, they need it. Do you understand? They need it. They need it. So you must understand that if we focus on building together, if we focus on building together some dreams that we have actually neglected, only if we could collaborate with one person, only if we collaborate with just a particular person, we would have get to the next level. So there are some dreams that you will have. You won't be the one to bring it to reality until you collaborate with someone. The thing is that, are you ready to collaborate with the like-minded? Are you ready to grow? Like I do say to people or tell my team members that is either we grow together or we outgrow one another. So let's collaborate so that we can grow together and bring a beautiful thing to our life and bring changes. Let's be that changes by bringing ourselves together. Thank you so much, Annie. Thank you so much, Zion, for always put this thing together. I really, really appreciate this topic today because we can only grow faster if we collaborate. I yield my mic to you back. Thanks so much.
Yeah, Annie.
In true collaboration, so I'm here. So in true collaboration, I don't know whether it's internet's playing up, right? It's you say very very wise words there, Mr. Tabaloba. I guess the biggest thing I take away is the point that collaboration, the we is about I. What are you bringing? What are you really? What are your intentions? How are you going to add to what we do? Because unless we all play our part, collaboration doesn't work. And a lot of people will come expecting to freeload of someone else, right? As you're talking to a below, of course, you and I are friends enough. I know your business, right? And so how many of us here have seen, have been part of collaborations where people don't quite realize that they must perform themselves? And I think I always say there's a fine line, between my personal responsibility and giving power, trust, belief, giving everything, giving call it trust to the partners, our collaboration, right? But ultimately we must bring the I into collaboration. We must, otherwise it doesn't work, right? So when we do, everything's glorious. But for many people, it almost the opposite happens, right? Where it ends up being you, me, doing everything. As if it's like any. You bring the clients, which is fine. I don't mind bringing the clients because that's part of my. Once we're a team, I mean, I'm not talking in a vacuum. For an event like this, obviously, those who know me know what I do, right? Which is I'm sending invites constantly all the way through the event until I'm happy that our friends are here. Those DMs don't do themselves, right? I'm not gonna wait for someone else to do it because I can do it. It's what I do, right? I'm saying we all need to seriously play our part to make anything work. The word that's been mentioned a lot today, which is easy to miss, is the word alignment, right? Alignment. You have to work with people with whom you feel, you're in this together. So once we lose that sense of togetherness, our collaboration is shot. And it's unfortunate, but I think it goes back to Mike's point earlier. Some people are not ready and they're not able. It's for you to know who those people are. When that's what alignment is, right? When you come across them, you get a feeling that this person is not quite, it's not quite what we need. And I think we must listen to that, because when we get that feeling, the party stops, the music stops very soon, right? Collaboration doesn't work. We have to have truly everyone. Maybe it comes back to the issue of relationships, building proper relationships. And there's so many complications. They say I gasp because have you noticed that the geniuses in our world they tend to be not team players. Have you like Mike called the ego. This is the really good people tend to.
I would say mentality. I would say I would say like people with because you can change the mindset, right? And you can reset it.
You must.
But what about the mentality?
Yeah.
That is the most hard part.
I would argue that it has more to do with their inability to like I've dealt with PhDs or extremely focused. They were probably, now that we'd probably say that they're on the spectrum, but they really didn't do well interacting with other people. And obviously with collaboration, you have to be able to do that. You look at the Teslas of the world, you look at Einstein, I think was not quite like that. But if you look at some of these people that were extremely gifted, they didn't necessarily have the ability or maybe the desire. But I think it has more to do, and I think a lot of it, to be honest, has to do with how you were raised. If you grew up in a house where you had to be very independent and kind of left on your own, that's probably how you're gonna. And to Gerard's point, of course, you can change and modify that with help, particularly if you can gather a circle of friends around you that can help you do that and provide a safe space. And one person's safe space is not necessarily the other. So all I say is, yeah. Oh, I did want to mention no, sorry, that's another show. Yeah, I just think I'm getting confused now. I just wanted to say, this has been a great subject, because I honestly feel, to be fair, I've had, other than that one job that I had that we had really high collaboration, unfortunately in many of my other positions, including the one where I was actually my CISO experience, that was very, very limited collaboration. There was some collaboration in a small group, but generally I did not get to enjoy collaboration. And again, that goes back to what Zrar was saying, and what I said was, you have to be willing and able, both. Some people are not able. Many people are not willing, because, like I said, I think they have this mindset of scarcity, or that somehow me doing something with you is going to take away from you. And I mean, Annie, you said it, I think, well, is once you get into it, and particularly once you've had a good collaborative experience, that that's not true. That that like I said, this circle of gentlemen are producing something greater than the sum of its parts. And I think it's generally true, to your point, if it's quote unquote true collaboration. So yeah.
Yeah, no, thank you. So, of course, and I love your comments too, Mike. Tabulova drops mic drops of wisdom so sharp. Philosopher's line, not for the encore, just to catch the echo. Oh, I tell you, way with words, Mike. Way with words, my friend.
Well, that's my in 2025. I started a positivity campaign to throw funny comments that are hopefully uplifting and funny. It doesn't look like you enjoyed that one. Maybe just has a serious face, but I try.
I like this one as well. My body doesn't always collab with me. Yeah, on a level, I can understand that completely, Mike. But I think, in reality, I think there's almost an analogy with collaboration. Your body never lies, right?
I'm being facetious because I actually believe the various parts of our body collab a lot more than we understand. A lot of it is autonomous, but I think there's a metaphysical, Zara would probably agree with me on this. I think there's a metaphysical aspect that is generally not explored that very well, at least in the West, or at least by some people in the West. And so that I was being a little facetious, but lately, because of some of my aches and pains, I don't necessarily feel like it's very collaborative.
I've got something for you, Mike, my bro. It's a royal jelly. It's a royal jelly. Okay, your body. So it's just
really nice.
There's network marketing right there.
It's simple.
That's smart. It's very smart. I like it. I like it.
Cool.
Yeah, again, so if you're gonna play a role, especially you have to understand your role, number one. And I think then you have to make sure that every chance you get, you will, promote our enterprise, if that makes sense. Now, Zara, good on you. Good on you. I think they should do more promotion, especially if it helps your cause. Don't be shy, right? But like I say, it's a weird thing where some of us end up being the ones who bring more business to the collaboration. We all could if we were more Zara. We could all bring something to the table, which is going to help all of us. Anyway, check out Zara's Forever Living products. I've been a customer Zara, so I know, I've used the products. And they've been there for years. Dr. Dorothea, I do see you, my friend. So glad to see you as always. And also an example of collaboration for me. So whenever I have a problem in my home, I can call my realtor. Her response is always, I know a guy, and then whatever it is handled. The machine must work. If the machine doesn't work, then collaboration fails, right? And so Talus 2 is an Illinois-based health and wellness company focused on prevention, resilience, and long-term. Is Forever Living a Talos thing, Mrs. Zara?
It is, and let me tell you about something about this. And I wish if Annie can try this or Mike can try this. It's an omega-3, but there is something special about this omega-3. It's from squid fish or calamari fish and salmon. So they are expensive. I don't mind as far as it's about my own health, my intestinal health, my joint health, and how my body responds to me back. So I'm eating them and becoming my own testimonial. Yeah, Annie.
Yeah, again, if you're willing to test the products, I think it's making sure they work. But if I take you back to our conversation earlier, some of them would say, maybe we've all spent money with network marketing companies. I'm thinking that my utilities, I've been with the same company who were meant to network in, what's that, 16 years ago?
see, Annie, I'm going for. Let me give you a small example. There's a movie out there, new movie, and Annie told me about the movie. I told another 10 people, including Jamie, Mike, and everybody else. They also came in. Now we are like 10 people told another 10 people. That was 100 people. Then those 100 told about that movie to another 10 people.
Yeah.
Became 1,000. Now, when we go and watch that, go to the theater and watch that movie, does that theater or cinema will give us the commission? No.
In
But
that.
that's the beauty about network marketing. No, that's the beauty about network marketing. That
Yeah.
you get,
You know, it's a network marketing that has effective solutions.
yeah,
They're worth their weight in gold. Is the point that I was trying to make. You know, the ones I find I don't tend to leave. You know, they come and been with for my utilities. I've been with them for years. You know, I think it's finding that that company that does great things. But because we all know there's many companies who do sell duds, basically. So right, this is the problem Michael talked about earlier.
Now let me give you some point. There was a cousin of mine, and they're like very close friends of us, and they have the lady have a nerve damage, so and they were like cousin marriage, so they were not having babies. Okay, she couldn't conceive. She was having problems, and mostly in Sayyid Muslims, the cousin marriages are very common. Okay, and then the pregnancy is another issue because the very close cousin marriages, and that happens. So one of my cousins, she had that problem, and then after 15 years, and I recommended them this the whole nutritional supplements to both husband and wife, and they are they started doing this, and now she has conceived it after like 15 years. So sometimes, yeah, the products are expensive, the things are expensive, but those long-term health benefits and those wealth benefits, they really they can help us get all those dreams we always thought of, and that's one way that you can really jump onto that level because of the collaborations between so many people across the world, and they all are like joining in, and then referrals and commissions and recommendations and everything that comes in, and then you sit and relax because you have done your part, and now you just focus. Okay, that's it. I need just 2 people every month. That's it, and you relax because there is already like 1,000 people on your back, and you're teaching now. Now there's another thing, that training and how to help them, personal development and skills, and like how Mike was saying about that.
Yeah, again, look. If anyone's wondering why is it that Zara speaks so much about his business, my friend, you have to come. If you don't come on stage, you don't come to the studio to share, then no one's ever going to hear. But if you do join us, I'm all for giving you the platform to do your marketing. That's what we're here for, partly, right? Market away, my friend. We just watched Jamie have his dinner, so I couldn't come to you sooner, Jamie. Was it nice?
I'm hungry. I got no shame with eating on camera, right? I mean, I had a good salad, which was really good, and then I had some broccoli cheddar soup. So yes, Mike, I'm very secure to eat on camera. It doesn't bother me as long as I'm not dripping things off my face and everything. We're in good shape.
I was lauding Jamie for how secure you are.
Yeah, it looks very elegant. I have to say, Jamie, it looks very elegant. It looks. Like a work of art.
I was trying to eat as graciously as I could. Thank you so much.
You did that. You did that, my friend. You did that. I could not eat so gracefully. I have to say, Look,
yeah.
I love Alexis' point. Collaboration is like teamwork. Bring your strengths to where they're needed. It's also recognized that we need others to fill in the areas that don't align with our strengths, skills, or passions. So we must recognize other people's strengths and contributions to the work. You like that, Jamie?
Yeah, that's pretty awesome. I love that.
I really think though there has to be a maturity. Like it's the same thing. One of my passions, and we do it here, I believe, is generative discussions. But again, in order to do that, there has to be an attitude, a sort of a baseline attitude that you will have good faith, that you will not attack the person. You might challenge their idea, but you don't attack the person. That you try to steel man, which is basically saying, I think this is what you're saying, and star manning, which is this may be what you're feeling. Now that's a lot harder, and I think it takes a lot more time to develop to actually star man. But I think that you are having, for lack of a better word, a generative engagement in collaboration, and that's what other people mention, is that you bring yourself, but you also have to have that hold that space for others, and also for maybe others to grow. So you may have to pitch in a little or push a little more than you would want, to bring, for lack of a better word, all boats floating, right? You want all boats to float. Now again, compensation might not be equal, but I think you want to try to make it a win-win-win-win in this case with 4 people, all around. So how about this?
I agree. I see Sharon Rose has joined us. Gratitude is the attitude. We agree with you, my friend. Welcome, Dr. Roxana as well. I do see you, so it's always great to have you here. Never too late to join. When you give us a minute of your time, I appreciate it as much as when you give us an hour. All right. So thank you all for joining along. Sorry, Jamie, I think I interrupted you.
No, you're good. I was saying I love what Alexis was saying in her comment, and I think we had a lot of good things talking about today. I mean, we had perspectives from a lot of different people on here, and one thing's for sure is that we realize that collaboration is a good thing. It can be a good thing when it's with the right people, right? That's what it comes down to, because I know not every collaboration always goes the way that you want it to, and maybe some people you thought were going to be a good person to collaborate with ended up not being so good, right? But that's trial and error. That's how you learn, right? And the only way you can learn is by, putting trust into somebody and seeing how it goes. If it doesn't work, then you learn from it. And if you're learning from it, that's the most important thing, right? So, I think it was a great conversation today. I know we went a little bit past our time, but I'm sure we'll have another good conversation next week. We'll come up with something. I know Mr. Z has been in and out. I think probably connection issues as opposed as a lot of people have been seeming to have today. I guess anything else you want to say before we start wrapping this up?
I agree with you. I think Mrs. I mean, we could hear from the internet wasn't perfect earlier, but it did well tonight to do as much as it did. I will say this, my friend. Sometimes we do need help to learn how to be good collaborators. You can even learn from being on collaboration environment. So one is a mastermind is normally a good one, right? Where you're amongst other people who are like-minded, who are on the same journey as you. So we can all learn from each other. The other way is simply get yourself a coach. A mindset coach. When I literally get a positivity coach like Mr. Zion, I'm saying, we have to be prepared to learn. Mike mentioned this earlier. A lot of people don't want to learn. They think I'll do it all myself, and if I just do it myself, they won't know where the gaps are in my knowledge or abilities, or even my thinking. Right? I think we have to be willing to work with others. That's it's a skill in business that not many talk about, but it's one that's so essential, Jamie. It's one that we all need. I'm thinking that you in your career counseling role, Jamie. I don't know whether the people you work with excite you with a level of readiness, willingness, and ability to collaborate or work as part of the team. You know, are you frightened by what you see, or are you excited about what you see in the people you work with? I'm curious to know.
Well, I'm sorry, you were breaking up. What were you saying?
Are your job seekers ready, willing, and able to be team players?
The people I work with, the job seekers.
Yeah. No, because now you see a cross section of people these days, right? You see
Right.
the real people like we that are out there. Now, are they ready to collaborate, or are they,
that's what I've learned over time, is that, I've been selective now with some of the people I work with, right? Because there are people that I've had discovery calls with that I didn't feel like that we were going to be a good fit, and that they were not really ready to accept the way that I wanted to do my coaching and what I know works, right? They were very like, this is how I've done it here. This is what I did with my old career coach. I'm like, look, like, that's good that you feel that way and you've done it this way before, but like, you're reaching out to me because you obviously need to do some changes, and you need to gain some traction, right? And if you're not willing to collaborate with me and kind of see where I'm coming from, and we can, not everything I'm going to do is perfect, right? But you're seeking out my services. Like, if I don't think it's going to be a good fit, and you're just going to keep countering and saying, well, why did you try to do this way? Or what, I don't know about this and I don't know about this. It's like, you have to trust the process sometimes, and you have to be willing to accept what I'm going to coach you on and teach you, because you get in what you put in yourself. Right. So
Exactly.
I've learned that over time that it's not going to always work out with people, unfortunately.
I think that's such a good point. Like, you get in, you get out what you put in.
Yeah,
that's part of collaboration. And Mike mentioned you have to be mature enough to truly collaborate. I think there's a truth there, right? A lot of people they're just not close, and they're thinking it's somewhere else. Like, we're thinking, let's work together to create something genius. They're thinking, how can I take from you and do less themselves, right? That's not how it works, my friends. We could talk about this all day, I'm sure, right? But so do join us. So next Friday, same time. We'll have a great topic. Of course, I want to thank everyone in the audience. Of course, you, especially Aurelio, who has been dropping gems. And they appreciates, say this, I would say our conversation, if you want to call it that, and that's thanks to Zara and Mike, who came up on stage, right? So when ideas are shared with clarity, integrity, and collective intent, they elevate understanding and strengthen the whole. Isn't that? Those such important words, right? When ideas are shared with clarity, integrity, that's honesty, and collective intent. That's a collaboration mindset right there, right? They elevate understanding and strength of the whole. That is something that we can all learn from. Zara, I'm sure now it sounds like you are looking to build a team in your work. So it's, so you have potential of employment opportunities for people, right?
Actually,
they can make money.
The beautiful thing about it is, in the corporate world, like when there is someone on the top, CEO, right? And they mostly say on that top, people are lonely on that top. But the beautiful thing about what I'm doing is I didn't know about that, I swear. But somebody introduced me, and now I'm learning. And somebody's coaching me. And that's the beauty about that. It's like Jamie coaches people, job seekers. And somebody's teaching me about that you can do this. Someone putting that energy in you, and product training, everything. And slowly, you're learning that you have to go online. You have to talk with people. You need to have your downlines. You have to look up for your upline. Everything. Yeah. So it's like a collaboration. I cannot do everything alone. I cannot do the recruitments. Maybe I can go talk with Annie. I can talk with people. I'm good on that. But some people are very good at product trainings. Some people are good at career coaching. Some people will be like, redirecting you towards something more bigger. So yes, it's collaborations. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah, no, thank you for joining us. Now, get in touch with, connect with Zara and have a conversation, especially if you're looking for opportunities. That's what collaborations give you, right? If you want opportunities, it's got some. And of course, if you're looking for well-being products as well, You know, you know he's got them now, right? He showed you. So, Mike, anything you want to say before we go?
No, again, I would just repeat. I'm so grateful for you guys and Mr. Z, who couldn't join us the whole time, for providing this space, not just for positivity, but that I don't know what it is for me, but I love the collaborative spirit, and I've one thing I'd like to do, and maybe we can collaborate on this, is a online community. So what do we do with Zion or people that are interested in positivity between Fridays? I actually don't feel that LinkedIn is that platform. So I'm just gonna I'm gonna plant that seed and see what if there's interest, because I actually ran, this was years ago, I ran a 10,000 member forum about a book, actually, oddly enough. And that book, by the way, and it became a movie, and we tried to relaunch that forum, and it just didn't work because I guess there wasn't enough interest. That book sold millions of copies, but things, things wane over time. It was a very powerful book. Happened to be called The Shack. I don't know if you're familiar with it. We just had a cadre of people, and we actually had kind of followed the sun. So we had a community. Like I said, at its peak, it was about 10,000 people, of which, I don't know, let's say 1,000 were probably active. And then that over time, I did that for 8 years. So I really have a passion for community building. So if anyone is interested in community building at all, please see me. And particularly, like I said, about the stuff that we've talked about collaboration, about positivity. Because one of the things I came to in 25 when I started my positivity thing was, if you look at the energy, directionally, if you're a negative, you're actually going backwards, and often looking backwards. If you are positive, you are typically moving forward and forward looking.
Yeah.
And I think that's so important to remember, because otherwise you get stuck, or can't get stuck. And that's why one of the things I'm doing in 26 is really focusing on building and maintaining relationships that are positive.
Indeed. So again, important point. If we are being positive, we believe in the possibilities, as Mrs. Z always says, right? If we're being negative, then we're essentially we're looking in the past. Maybe at some of our failures, our hard times. Whereas anything's possible, especially when you collaborate with friends. Jamie, enjoy your weekend, my friend. Everyone else, enjoy your weekend too, right? Thank you so much for joining us.
Yes,
Bye,
thank you, everyone. We'll see you next week for a great call.
Thank
Well
you.
said, Jamie. Well said. Bye, everyone.
Happy weekend.
Celebrate it with or without champagne or rum. Achieve success with global.media.com.